First one, 5 times what gives me 20?
4.
4. So therefore 3 times 4 is 12. 12, right? 1 times what gives me 10?
10.
10 times 2.54 is?
25.4.
9 over 15 is equivalent to what over 10?
Oh,
Haley?
6.
6 over 10. Okay? And 6 over 10, what would that be equivalent to in smallest terms?
3/5.
3/5, good. 35, so 14 divided by what, Chloe, gives me 2? 7. 35 divided by 7 is? 5, good work. Okay, so up to this point you have been changing metric units to metric units. We've been changing imperial units to imperial units. Today we're going to change from imperial units to SI units, which is metric. Okay? So the biggest thing that you need to know is this right here. This is your number one go-to. To convert
2.54.
2.54 centimeters is 1 inch. You need to constantly convert so that you can use that as your ratio. We are not going to yet. In grade 10, when we do the intro to applied pre-calc, we use other ratios. For instance, we can do meters to yards and yards to meters and so on. But for right now, all I want you to be able to do is convert it by using this 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So it says, about how many centimeters are there in a foot? Well, here's how I want to see it set up. 1 foot,
12 inches.
12 inches, and 1 foot, right? And 2.54 centimeters
In 1 foot.
in 1 inch. So now, now I can use my calculator. 30.48. That's great. 30.48 centimeters. Okay. And then it asks us how much in a yard. Well, what would I have to do to change that value? Times what? 3. How come?
3 feet a yard.
3 feet in a yard. So that would be the first thing I have to do is change it to feet first, right? Or I can multiply that number by 3. So what does that work out to? 91.44 centimeters. That's how many centimeters there are in a foot, or sorry, in a yard. Okay. Now, I want you to look at the board for a second, because I just finished saying this to you. We are not going to change with anything but inches and centimeters, okay? But can somebody tell me right now, approximately, because we've had to round some of these numbers off, but approximately, how many meters are there in a yard?
Well, there's 1760 yards in a mile. There's one.
Somebody look at the board right now.
0.91.
What is it?
0.91 meters in a yard.
You're taking that off the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
I want you to take it off the board right now. What is the exact amount, or as close to the exact amount as possible? Harvey, do you know?
Would it be 0.9144?
That's right. If there's 91.44 centimeters in 1 yard, how many meters are there in a yard? Well, how do I change that to meters?
Divided by 10. Or by
100.
100.
Divided by 100. Harley's absolutely right. 0.9144 meters in 1 yard. They do give it to you at the bottom. I want to avoid using those at this time, but they are at the bottom of the page. Okay? So, if you were to use this, 1 yard is equivalent to 0.9144 meters. That would be more precise. A soccer goal is 24 feet wide. How wide is it in meters? Okay, so 24 feet. Again, I don't want to use my big ratios just yet in that corner. I want to practice converting right now. So I need to change feet to what first?
Inches.
Inches. So 12 inches in a foot.
288 inches.
Okay, just relax for 1 second, please. 1 foot. So what did you say?
288 inches.
288 inches, right? So now 2.54 centimeters
Time.
in 1 inch, right? So times 288 by 2.54.
731.52.
700.
31.52.
Point
52.
52. Thank you. So how many centimeters are there in 24 feet?
100.
731.52 centimeters.
But then it asks you for how many is it? How wide is it in meters?
Okay. So how would I now convert 731.52 centimeters to meters?
Well, there's 100 meters.
Charlie?
500.
Divided by 100. What does that give you, Charlie?
7.3152.
Very good. So, how wide is a soccer goal? In meters?
7.3152 meters.
7.3152 meters. That's pretty easy so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Again, I know they give you different values, different ratios. I want you to practice right now with these ratios. This will make you much stronger when you get into grade 10 science and you have to convert using doing physics and some chemistry stuff. So this will make you a lot stronger. Alfonso drove his truck from Edmonton to Regina, a distance of 436 miles. What is this distance in kilometers? Okay. So I have 436 miles. And I need to know it in kilometers. Now, because it's miles to kilometers, all right, and I'm going to be a little more precise than this. So here's what I want to do. Okay, so 1 kilometer has 0.621371 miles in it. Now I'm going to go back. I want to convert. Do that again. Kilometers. A mile. All right, this is the one I want to use right here. So 1.6093. So we are going to use 1 kilometer, 1.6093 miles. Okay, you can write that one at the top of your page. We're going to be a lot more accurate than what the sheet is telling us. The sheet says do 1.61, but I want to do this. Okay?
Wait, so why would it be 1.63 miles? Wouldn't that be kilometers? Like, do you mean?
We have this upside down, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Think so?
Like I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like,
Which unit is longer? Is there a mile longer than a kilometer?
Yeah.
So then should this be switched? Is there 1.6093 kilometers in a mile? What did we just look up?
Yeah. Yeah, yes.
The kilometers are
Yeah,
smaller.
the kilometer, there's more, the kilometers.
So 1 mile is 1.6093 kilometers. So we have to adjust that, don't we? We had that upside down. Okay? So let's do that. Change it then. So there it is. 1.6093 kilometers in 1 mile. Okay, so then how do I change from miles to kilometers then?
times by 1.6093.
Okay, so let's do that right now. 436 times 1.6093. Go ahead.
701.6548.
548. So 548 would be 55, right?
Yeah.
Kilometers. Okay. Now, so far so good?
Yeah.
So we need to write this at the top of the page. We didn't have it right to begin with, so we adjusted it. We changed it. I also want to show you something a little bit different right now. I would like you to change 48 kilometers. Okay? I want to change 48 kilometers into miles. So if that's the case, what should my ratio read now?
1 mile over 1.6093 kilometers.
Very good. Over 1.6093 kilometers. Good job, Harley. Okay, so that's what I have there and there, right? So now what am I doing to change from kilometers to miles? What do I have to do here?
Divide by 1.6093.
Okay, so let's divide by 1.6093. What do I get?
29.8266.
8266. All right, perfect. That is in miles now. Okay. How many of you drive down the highway with mom and dad and you look and it says 53 kilometers to Russell? And you think, wow,
I want to do
how long is that going to take?
it. At times it by 6. Wait,
How long is it going to take?
Half an
So,
hour.
hey, you think around a half an hour, right? Okay, what if it was 84 kilometers? How long would it take?
Probably about like 45 minutes.
So how are you getting that? How are you guessing?
I timed
Okay.
I times the first number by 6. Like,
What?
I don't know what I'm. So like it says like 80 kilometers to Yorkton.
Which it
And
is.
I want to figure that out. Like, wouldn't I times the 8 by 6, and then be like 48 minutes roughly?
Okay, never thought of doing it that way. All right, I kind of see where you're going with this. It's not where I would go, but I'm going to come back to that, okay? Because you kind of got it right. Go ahead.
Wouldn't you just divide the number by 2? Because generally if you're going with 100 miles per hour
100 kilometers.
or 100 kilometers per hour, you just like divide it by 2 and then because you generally go like 2 kilometers per minute. So
Okay, that's one way to do it. If it was like 53 kilometers, right? It would take you almost half an hour. Okay, but the question is 80 kilometers. Kayla?
Well, I wasn't doing it like a math strategy, but I know, let's say, look, like most people would be going 100 kilometers an hour. So, like, I'm just saying, like, 3/4 of that would be 75. So, roughly, like, 3/4 of an hour is 45. So, it'd be around, like, 45 minutes.
All right,
Around.
I like it. You guys are all playing with what it is, okay? I'm going to tell you something. Those of you that like mental math, and we have our own trips. We always drive everywhere, right? Everybody has to drive everywhere. You gotta, nothing's close by because we live in the middle of nowhere, basically, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I want you to take 48 and divide it by 8. Get off your calculators.
6.
What is it?
6.
6. I want you to take 6 and I want you to times it by 5. What do I get? 30. Okay. So 48 divided by 8 times by 5. And what do we get? 30. 30 miles. Not bad. Not bad, right? It's pretty close. That's been food. Let's try this again. What do you say? You said Yorkton's what, 80 kilometers?
Yeah.
Divided by 8?
And then times
10? Times by 5? 50. That's it. It's about 50 miles,
So
right?
it's close to what I said.
So divided by 8. Yeah, you're on the right track. Divided by 5. So 50 miles. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say I go 100 kilometers. I'm going to go 100 kilometers an hour, like we just finished saying. That's the speed limit, and I happen to be going 100 kilometers an hour. If I want to get my time, okay, I'm going to take my distance, 80 kilometers, divided by 100 kilometers per hour. Alright, so what's 80 divided by 100?
Yeah, 0.5.
What is it?
0.8.
0.8 hours. Right? You times by 6 because you're saying that there's 60 minutes in an hour. If I multiply this by 6, D, which is 60 minutes in an hour, right? Because then that's going to give me approximately 48 miles. So the correct answer to the question is around 48 miles if you travel the right speed. Right? Now that brings speed into it. Okay? So what you need to know, what helps, is next time you're traveling, okay? Excuse me. Next time you're traveling, take the sine, divide it by 8, times it by 5. And it will give you almost as close to an accurate measurement as possible. That will not only give you the miles, but 100 kilometers an hour is very close to 60 miles an hour. So if you go 60 miles in 1 hour, what else happens in 1 hour?
Going 100 kilometers.
100 kilometers and 60 minutes. So by converting it to miles, I'm actually converting it to how many minutes out of an hour it is.
So you mean that's 48 miles or 48 minutes?
That's 48 miles.
And a mile
And
and a
a
minute?
mile and a minute.
48 minutes.
48 minutes. There you go. Does that make sense? So just a neat trick. Try it. When you go on a big road trip, try it. Think about it. Because basically what I'm telling you, so let's say hypothetically, which, well, it's not real hypothetical because it basically is. From the door to my house to Headingley in Winnipeg is almost exactly 400 kilometers. So I need to find, I want to think of, let's say I go 100 kilometers an hour, that's my speed limit, which is about 60 miles an hour. How long does it take me to get there? Well, divide by 8 is 50. 50 times 5 is?
Or no, 250.
So it should take me 250 minutes to get there. 250 minutes.
That's
Or miles, whichever you like. It's about 250 miles.
4 hours, 10 minutes.
4 hours and?
10 minutes.
That's about right too.
Well, from here to Toronto is roughly 2,300 kilometers.
23 kilometers.
2,300.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Okay. So, do we understand what's happening here?
Yeah.
All I'm trying to do is give you a neat little mental map thing that you can do while you travel. I always wonder, every time I see the sign, well, how long is it going to take me? Well, what do? I divide it by 8 and I times it by 5. Well, what did we say our ratio was? 1 mile.
To 0 or
No,
1.0.
1.6093.
1 kilometers, correct?
Yeah.
Take 8 and divide it by 5. What do you get? Do it in your head, Haley.
5.525, or no, 625.
8 divided by 5.
Oh, I was thinking divided by
Yeah.
8.
Right.
1.6.
What is it?
Yeah.
That's 1.6.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
1.6, isn't it?
Yep.
That is pretty close. How do you?
2.
5 goes into 8 how many times?
One.
Once. How many's left over?
3.
What's 3 over 5 as a decimal?
0.6.
0.6.
Oh.
Right? Your math skills. Okay, so let's look. How close is that?
Pretty close.
Pretty close, isn't it? So by dividing by 8 and timing by 5, that's essentially how I get this conversion here. And if I divided 5 divided by 8, it would give me what the number of miles in a kilometer is. Okay?
But the other one would be how
So-
much, like if you were doing it like that, how much kilometers per hour equals to miles per hour.
Okay, well, here, I like that. Okay, let's change it. Watch what happens here. 100 kilometers per hour, right? So I want to change to miles per hour. So I got to change my kilometers now to miles. So kilometers goes on the bottom, miles goes on the top. What's my ratio? 1 to 1.6093, right? So take 100 divided by 1.6093, and what do we get?
Uh, 62.138, or 139, I guess you'd say.
Okay, so here's the thing, 139 miles per hour.
So that's pretty close.
Okay, so now, let's go back to what we were just talking about on how far it was to Winnipeg. If we go 100 kilometers an hour, right? We said that if we do our little 8 divided by 8 times by 5, it would give us about 250 minutes, which is 4 hours and 10 minutes, right? But if you averaged 100 kilometers an hour, how long should it actually take you?
A bit more.
4 hours, right? Well,
a bit less.
we actually aren't going 60 miles an hour when you go 100 kilometers an hour. You're actually going a little bit faster than that.
So it'd probably take you like 4 hours.
So 250 divided by 62.139 will give you closer to 4 hours, which is what actually basically happens if you don't stop at McDonald's and eat walk.
Yeah, it is 4 hours, pretty much.
Pretty much 4 hours, right?
It says
Okay.
4.
Something interesting to you today,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? It's a little different, but it's something that you're going to be able to do. So next time you see a sign, I love the sign. I go to Foxhorn last night with my kids for hockey, and the sign is Foxhorn's 11, Manados is 111. So there's a lot of ones on there, so I get a kick out of that. I like the one with the one, mind you, but you guys didn't do it for you, eh? All right. Andrew's height is 5'7". What is her height in centimeters? 5 feet 7 inches. Need to change that to centimeters. So what do I want to do first? Charlie, what would you do first?
Convert it to inches.
Convert it to inches. And what is 5 feet in inches?
60.
Charlie? 60, yeah. So total it would be, yeah, that's right. So I'd go 5 feet times 12 inches in a foot, right?
It's 60.
Which is 60 inches.
And
And then you added the 7 inches to it, Charlie, which was great. 67 inches. Okay, what's my ratio, Charlie?
Well, I don't remember it.
I want to go centimeters to inches. Charlie, help me.
2.54 centimeters to 1 inch.
2.54 centimeters to 1 inch. So now what am I going to do, Charlie, to finish this off?
And then you're going to multiply 67 by 2.5.
Excellent. Can you do that on your calculator for me?
You got it. 170.18.
170.18 centimeters. Okay, good work. Good work. Everybody's okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. That assignment I gave you yesterday had a fair bit to do with that. There was some converting that was happening on there that I want you to do. So today, I want you to finish to the end of 2.4. I want you to do, we're going to skip 2.5. There's also that midterm. There's that midterm, mid-chapter review on page 49. Make sure that gets done. So page 49 has to be done. And then I want you to work on '56 and '57 today. And you could even start on page 59. It's converting the other way. So to the end of 60. Once you're done with that, then you can go back to the assignment and finish it up and hand it in, okay?
Page 60, page 60.
Finish up to 60. Once you've done that, then you can do your assignment and hand it in.
Is it for March?
Yes. Any questions? Are we okay? All right.